So, what is greed? Greed is an insatiable desire for more, an unending hunger that can never be satisfied. It's a bottomless pit that consumes everything in its path and leaves only destruction in its wake. You may think that I'm exaggerating, but let me ask you this. Have you ever met someone who had everything they could ever want, who was rich and famous and powerful, yet still wasn't happy? Why do you think that is? Because they were driven by greed. They wanted more than what they already had. And when you're like that, you can never be satisfied. You can never be content. You're always looking for the next hit of dopamine, the next thrill, the next high, but it never works. You eventually become a slave to your own desires. I see this all the time in my line of work. People who are so focused on making money that they forget to enjoy their lives. They're so caught up in the rat race that they don't stop to smell the roses. These people are like zombies. They're walking dead men. They've sold their souls to the devil, and now they're paying the price. If you want to avoid this fate, then listen to what I'm about to tell you. The first thing you need to understand is that greed promises everything and delivers nothing. When we're young, we're all full of hope and ambition. We want to make something of ourselves. We want to be successful. But if our motivation for success is driven by greed, then we're setting ourselves up for failure. Because here's the thing about greed. It's never enough. If you're greedy, you'll never be satisfied with what you have. You'll always want more. And the more you want, the more you'll suffer. Because the truth is, you can never buy happiness. You can never buy love. You can never buy peace of mind. And these are the things that we all crave deep down inside. But greed tries to convince us that we can. Greed tells us that if we just make $1 more million, we'll be happy. If we just get that promotion, we'll be content. If we just lose a few more pounds, we'll be fulfilled. But none of that is true, because no amount of money or success or power can make us happy if we're not at peace with ourselves. If we're not content with what we have, then we're doomed to a life of misery. The second thing you need to understand is that greed destroys relationships. When we're greedy, we're only thinking about ourselves. We don't care about anyone else. We're not concerned with the needs or feelings of those around us. All that matters is number one, because when you're greedy, you're selfish. And when you're selfish, you destroy the very thing that makes life worth living, your relationships with other people. Think about it. How many friendships have been ruined by greed? How many families have been torn apart by it? Greed doesn't just destroy relationships, it destroys lives. It's a cancer that eats away at the soul until there's nothing left. It turns us into psychopaths who are capable of anything. Because when you're greedy, you're not afraid to step on others to get what you want. You're not afraid to lie or cheat or steal. You'll do whatever it takes to get ahead, even if it means ruining the lives of those around you. The third thing you need to understand is that greed destroys the environment. When we're greedy, we take more than we give. We consume more than we produce. We waste more than we need. And in doing so, we destroy the very planet that sustains us. Look around you. What do you see? Greed. Our world is drowning in plastic. Our oceans are filled with garbage. Our forests are being cut down at an alarming rate. Our air is polluted. Our water is poisoned. And all of this is happening because of our greed. We're taking everything that we can get and we're not thinking about the long-term consequences. We're destroying the environment for short-term gain, and future generations are going to pay the price. Now, some of you might be thinking, why is he talking to us like this? What's gotten into him? Well, let me tell you. Greed is a serious problem. It's a global crisis that threatens to destroy everything we hold dear. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it anymore. I'm not going to pretend like it's not a big deal. Because if we don't change our ways, if we don't learn to be content with what we have, then we're doomed. We're doomed to a future of poverty and war and environmental disaster. That's why I'm so passionate about this topic. That's why I feel so strongly about it. Because I see the greed in our world. I see the selfishness. I see the destruction that it's causing. And I don't want to be part of it. And that's why I'm asking you to join me. Join me in the fight against greed. Join me in the pursuit of a better world, a world where we're not defined by our material possessions, where we're not consumed by our own desires, where we put the needs of others before our own. That's the kind of world I want to live in, and I believe that you do too. So what are we waiting for? Are we just going to sit back and watch as our world burns? Or are we going to do something about it? Are we going to stand up against greed and say, enough is enough? Or are we going to continue to support the very things that are destroying our planet? Because we can't keep going like this. We need to change. We need to evolve. We need to become something better. And it starts with each and every one of us. It starts with you and me. It starts with our choices. It starts with our actions. We have the power to change the world, but it's going to take a collective effort. It's going to take a movement. It's going to take us standing up together and saying, enough is enough. We need to reclaim our humanity. We need to remember what's really important in life. And that's not money or success or power. That's the little things, the simple things, the things that make life worth living. It's the laughter of a child, the warmth of the sun on your skin, the feeling of grass between your toes, the sound of birds singing, the taste of a fresh strawberry, the smell of rain on dry ground. These are the things that matter, not the things that greed tries to convince us to chase. So I challenge you today to take a step back and reevaluate your life. Ask yourself, am I being consumed by greed? Am I so focused on making money that I'm forgetting to enjoy my life? Am I taking more than I give? If you answer yes to any of these questions, then it's time to make a change. It's time to find a new purpose in life, a purpose that's more fulfilling than the endless pursuit of wealth. It's easy to get sucked into the vortex of greed, but it's also easy to pull ourselves out if we're willing to make the effort. It starts with being aware of the problem, with admitting that we have a problem. Once we've done that, we can start to change our habits, our thoughts, our beliefs. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. Because what's the alternative? To allow greed to destroy everything we hold dear? To allow our world to burn while we sit back and watch? I refuse to do that. And I know you refuse to do that too. So let's make a stand today. Let's make a stand against greed and say, enough is enough. We need to change our ways. We need to change our attitudes. We need to change our priorities. And it starts with each and every one of us. So, are you with me? Are you ready to join me in this fight? Are you ready to reclaim your humanity? Are you ready to live a life that's more fulfilling than the endless pursuit of wealth? If you are, then let me hear you say it. Say it loud. Say it proud. I am done with greed. I am done with selfishness. I am done with the destruction of our planet. I am done with all of that. Enough is enough. We need to change. We need to evolve. We need to become something better. Thank you.